All right, let's talk about April 2026, because that month was something else. While the whole world was glued to their screens watching us reach for the stars, another, much quieter victory was happening right here on Earth, saving millions of lives. We're talking about two totally different missions, but both were absolutely giant leaps for humankind. So let's break down how these two events, which seemed completely unrelated, actually tell a much bigger story about what progress really looks like.
Just look at this. For the first time since all the way back in 1972, human eyes, not a robot's, but actual human eyes, looked back and saw our home from way out by the moon. This incredible shot was taken by the crew of Artemis II. It's so powerful, right? It's the symbol of our return to deep space, a journey that just completely captured the imagination of the entire planet. And yeah, that journey, that's the first of our two big stories today, the Artemis II mission. I mean, after decades of waiting, we finally had a rocket powerful enough to send people back to a place we haven't been in a generation. And the mission itself, it was just a picture-perfect flight. Over just 10 days, the crew launched, they did this supercritical engine burn to finally break free from Earth's orbit, and then they swung around the far side of the moon. And get this, they went farther from Earth than any human has ever been before. After that, it was a smooth ride home for a safe splashdown. It was, simply put, a flawless test run. But, a huge reason this mission hit so hard was because of the crew. I mean, this crew was history in the making. You've got Victor Glover, the first person of color to fly around the moon, Christina Koch, the first woman, and Jeremy Hansen from Canada, the first non-American to make the trip, all led by Commander Reed Wiseman. This crew really showed the world that this new era of spaceflight is for everyone. And the world absolutely felt it. It was this global wave of excitement, so much so that NASA actually gave it a name, Moonjoy. I love that. It was this shared feeling of pride and wonder with people from all over tuning in. For a lot of us, it was the first time in our entire lives we got to see a crewed mission head out toward the moon. But here's where the story takes a really interesting turn. While all this celebration was happening, behind the scenes, NASA was basically rewriting its own map to the stars. The entire strategy for how we get back to the moon was being fundamentally changed. You see, all that momentum from Artemis II, all that moon joy, it did more than just get people excited. It actually gave NASA the political breathing room it needed to make a huge strategic change. And it started with the very next mission. So, the original plan for Artemis III? That was supposed to be it, the historic return, boots on the lunar surface. But they changed it. The new plan is to do a full-on dress rehearsal, but in low Earth orbit, way closer to home. They're going to practice docking with the new landing systems from SpaceX and Blue Origin, and the thinking is pretty sound, right? You practice the trickiest, most dangerous parts of the mission somewhere safe before you try it for real hundreds of thousands of miles away. And this wasn't just a small tweak. No, this was a complete overhaul of the whole program. The landing got pushed to Artemis IV. That Lunar Gateway space station they were planning to build in orbit around the moon canceled. So why? Well, they're taking all that money and effort and pouring it into building a permanent base on the moon itself and ramping up to a steady rhythm of one launch per year. This quote from the Center for Strategic and International Studies just nails the new philosophy. The whole goal has shifted. It's not about a race to just get there first anymore. The real prize now is creating a lasting, repeatable way to live and work there. It's all about what the experts call sustained access. Okay, so hang on to that idea, because now we're going to pivot to our second story. At the exact same time the world was looking up, another incredible human achievement, one that was decades in the making, was hitting a major milestone right here on our own planet. Think about this number for a second, 160 million. Over the last 5 decades, that's how many children in Pakistan have been protected by vaccines. This is all thanks to a massive public health campaign run with the World Health Organization. Just a colossal effort. And the result of that relentless work, spanning generations, 2.6 million. That's the estimated number of child deaths that have been prevented in Pakistan alone because of that program. It's a number so big it's almost hard to wrap your head around. And if you want to see what that victory looks like, here it is. Smallpox, which used to be this global nightmare, gone, completely wiped out in the country. Polio, which once crippled so many kids, cases are down by 99.8%.
and today, 80% of people there live in areas free from the threat of neonatal tetanus. This is what happens when you just keep at it.
But the impact? Wow. It goes so much deeper than just saving lives. The World Health Organization estimates that for every single death prevented by a vaccine, that person gains, on average, 66 years of full health. Just think about that. You're not just giving someone life, you're giving them a lifetime.
So how do we possibly tie these two incredible but totally different stories together? What could a mission to the moon and a 50-year health campaign possibly have in common?
Well, on one side, you've got the sheer spectacle of the SLS rocket, this marvel of engineering built to literally escape our planet. And on the other, you have this quiet, persistent work that makes Pakistan one of the top 5 countries in the world for saving children's lives through vaccination. They're both just unbelievable feats of human ingenuity. Both are giant leaps.
And that brings us right back to this idea of sustained access. NASA figured out that just visiting the moon wasn't enough. They needed to stay. Well, what is a nationwide immunization program, really? It's a kind of sustained access. It's like building a permanent biological base, a shield against disease that you build and maintain for generations so your kids have a chance to grow up healthy.
So that leaves us with one last thought. When we look back and tell the story of human progress, what do we focus on? Is it the spectacular moments that make us all look up and wonder, or is it the quiet, sustained work that gives millions of people a chance at a full life? Maybe what April 2026 really showed us is that the truest measure of who we are is our ability to do both.